really do. My gut instinct, my first response is so frustrated when this happens, especially when I was a new seller. This was so frustrating for me, but I still do have that little gut and like kick in the stomach when it happens because I just like get so frustrated. What am I talking about? Especially if you're a new seller, if you are selling on eBay, you are going to get, I sometimes call them in my mind anyway, like other eBay busybodies that will look at your listings and see errors in your photos, in your listing, in your title, what have you, and feel like they need to message you and like set you straight. And it really, especially earlier on, it really would just irk me that people just felt like they wanted to do that. But going forward, I started realizing this is a blessing in disguise because they're alerting me to errors in my listing that if this item did sell, I could get an item not as described or some other hit on my eBay account. I'm going to share with you a few of these that I've gotten, and you can see why some of them come from a really good place, and some of them are so ugly that it's just like, what the heck? Here's one that I got recently. This one was actually pretty sweet. Hi, no disrespect intended, but there's no tatting on this sweet patch. It's embroidered. I'm a tatting teacher. So I have this little angel, I guess it's a patch, but it looked like tatted lace. And I didn't realize that there was I mean, I know what tatting is, but I didn't realize that that's not a term you can use perhaps when you are describing this embroidery style. Like my mom has one of those machine embroidery machines, so I get it. But I thought describing it as looking like tatted lace would be okay. And I still think it might be because I'm not trying to mislead anybody that it's like homemade tatted. But it was nice to have somebody point that out. So maybe I need to look at that and make a distinction. That one I didn't mind too bad. Let's keep going. Remember that big score of buttons that I got? Well, there are some buttons in there that were political buttons. Some were authentic, like original, and some were reproduction. And when I was listing them, I didn't always check or make sure that it was in the right category, right? So this person sent me a message. This is a 1972 reproduction made as part of a set for the presidential campaign. The original is $5 to $7 at most. This one has little to no value. Kennedy collector since 1968. Okay. I appreciate the person letting me know that it was a reproduction because that's something that I needed to go back into my eBay categories and change. But to tell somebody that their item has little to no value, that's neither here nor there because I'm going to sell it. I've sold many of these buttons. So that one was just a little bit of a, right? Wait till you see the last one. This one was a little vicious, I would say. It says, are you saying you don't know this item is a fake? eBay policy is attached. This listing violates that policy. Why don't you picture on the edge of the button, like one side says the name of the candidate and the year, and then the other side has the AO, whatever. And you can see it clearly in the picture. But he's saying I was trying to hide it, but no, you can totally see it. Are you trying to hide that aspect? What's our interest? Listings and items like this are a surefire way to turn new collectors off the hobby when they find they have unwittingly bought reproductions. We'd like to prevent that. So I feel like some of these people who are maybe collectors, or a lot of times I get it on jewelry items just from other jewelry sellers. The fact that he was trying to insinuate that I was purposefully trying to mislead people, you could see the part that he's saying I was hiding in the photos, but you have to take the honey, what's the phrase? Like you got to take the good and try to ignore the bad. He linked the eBay policy. I went and looked at it. Not that my item, I was trying to pass it off as an original by any means, but I saw on that it shows that, okay, you have to have it listed in a particular category. So I went back and was able to make sure that I had it in the right category. And I think this guy, most of the time when I respond, if I respond, I just say, thank you very much. and leave it at that. I don't engage in a back and forth, but I did this one. I just wrote, thank you very much. But I did go back and make sure that all of them were in the correct category for the buttons that they were. The reason I bring this up is that it's something that happens a lot. And if you are a new seller, then this might be something you encounter, and you could waste so much time in a back and forth with somebody who's got nothing better to do than peruse other people's listings and tell them how they're wrong. Look to see if there's something in there. Honestly, my gut instinct is I'm not changing it because you said so. That oppositional defiance disorder kicks in and makes me want to do it opposite because of just who I am. And I have to quell that and just remember, this is my business. All right, thank you. And then take the information that is actually helpful, because if somebody did buy it and for whatever reason, even if I had all in my listing that it was a reproduction, it was this, that, but I had the category on eBay wrong and it wasn't in the correct one, like it's in the category part where you choose where it shows up on eBay, if it was in the category of originals versus reproductions, no matter what I said in my listing, I could still possibly get a default, a ding on as far as you are as a seller. I encourage you, as if you're new sellers or even seasoned sellers, take the honey, kick out the thorns, and try to remember that it's your eBay business. And as much as there are some busybodies out there that sometimes, they're doing you a favor by checking your listings, and like I said, it happens way more than I would like. But after you've been doing it a while, you will get used to this kind of message coming in from time to time. And hopefully you'll know how to handle them. And just, like I said, take the good, kick out the bad, and just say thank you for your time and call it at that. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I will see you on the next video. Bye.